The Storyteller's House. I've never met the storyteller or gone to the storyteller's house, and I have no intention of doing so, though all my friends say she's wonderful. They've been to her home and her studio. They've seen the window where she sends her stories out into the world. It is unlike any other window, they told me. What she does is, she writes the story, folds it up, applies the wax, and just like that, off it goes. It has its own wings. I myself have received several parcels of stories that fluttered into my home through the window on a dark night, like a dove returning home after a long journey. I've received parcels on dark nights myself, said my other friend, and more than once. My favorite story is the one that has a tea stain ring on the top corner. I know the storyteller must have been in such a hurry to get it off to me, for she did not copy it over onto a fresh page. No one else has a tea stain on their stories, and I know because I've asked around. I often feel like a dove after a long journey whenever I hear tales about the storyteller. She does sound wonderful. They say she dresses in linens and silks, and that every movement in her house sounds like it can echo into eternity. From the rushes of the faucets, to the thumps of the cupboards closing, to the creaking floorboards and squeaking door hinges, to the clinking of stoneware plates and the spoon being stirred in a fresh cup of tea. Maybe one day she'll have coffee, I joked. No one laughed. They take the storyteller too seriously, I told myself, but I knew it was out of envy. One has to be invited by the storyteller to enter her home, and I never was, and no, I'll never be. I don't know why I said that. My days grew distant from the storyteller and my friends, the more I became enchanted with my own world. I began to pretend that I was the storyteller. Silly, I know. But if I had no way to be invited and no intention of meeting her, then I needed something else to do with my time and take my mind off this storyteller altogether. I naturally ended up at the bookstore. The bell chimed my arrival, and instead of buying a book with a new story, I bought a plain one and a pen, and I began to write a story that's never been told before. I sat at a picnic table and wrote until my pen ran out of ink, which was a long while. I scratched out passages and sentences and misspelled so many words in a rush. At one point, I wrote so quickly that I can no longer read what I put down. The A's look like E's, and my R's could pass for M's, and I don't think I've gotten any closer to the story I saw in my head. But I carried this book with me and felt closer to the storyteller than before. If I let my story pages out the window, they would flop and land like a hippo, with not much movement at all. But who knows? Maybe they'll take flight one day as well. And so I had to ask my friends. I met with them, as per usual, over tea and coffee. They had the tea, I had the coffee. But I couldn't get a word in edgewise. They kept talking and talking and talking about the storyteller's newest character. Lofty, envious, discontented, oh, but so very hungry for stories. Growing. That last word made their mouths wrinkle. Well, what's wrong with growing? I asked. Nothing, it's just... The character has taken up so much of her time, my friend moped. She doesn't have time to send out any more stories. It's all about the new character. The new character, my other friend frowned. You'd think she had never written such a character before, the way pages and pages are spent on this one. And do you know what the worst part is? What? I couldn't help but ask. Both of them frowned at me, as if I had something to do with it. Their friends aren't even named, they chorused. Oh, my, well, I suppose that does sound quite lonely, I said. I tried to ask them more, but they wouldn't answer any of my questions after that. They said they were done with the Storyteller. They even said our team meetings were coming to an end, as they had better things to do. I am sorry they're so disappointed with the Storyteller and their new character, but I can't dwell on the missed team meetings. So many new things have been happening to me too, and all through the pages of my new book. I almost feel at one with the Storyteller myself. It's as if we're both going about our lives, carrying out our own secret conversations where one word after the next goes out into the world, and I have no desire of stopping. As soon as I figure out how to put my own stories out there, maybe the Storyteller would receive one of mine. I'd love to know her opinion. She might even like it enough to invite me inside her house. Though I'll have to buy a new dress. There's an odd circular stain at the bottom corner of my current skirt. A faint brown ring on white linen that's bled into the fabric, and it smells of coffee. I'm not sure how it got there for such a location, but there's a story here. I could write a character about it.